We just landed in Sao Paulo after a long flight.
It's a mindset change, and that culture is the hardest thing to change.
Again, we flew across the world to film another documentary. So here's what happened. We're making a documentary about coffee, again. So now we're here at Stockholm Airport and we're about to board a flight to Brazil. We're trying to find a different perspective on the coffee production this time. What are your thoughts?
Number one, I'm pretty scared for the flight. Robin has some pills, maybe I can try some to get some sleep. A bit more than 1 year ago, we went to Uganda to film coffee plantations over there. And it's going to be really exciting to see how we are changing our workflow for this trip. What went well in Uganda and what could we improve, and it's also going to be amazing to explore South America for the first time.
See you in Sao Paulo.
Yeah. They said we should use the aft entrance, but it's not open yet. So we just landed in Sao Paulo after a long flight. And looking forward to explore this side of the world. What do you feel, Isak?
I'm excited, but I'm also very tired. Did I mention that I vomited twice also during the night?
Robin has some pills, maybe I can try some to get some sleep.
Yeah. Providing all the drama.
Yeah.
Not your best flight.
No.
Finally out of the airplane prison where you're just a sheep being pushed into different places and have to stand in lines. Now we're out in the free. We're about to meet Lars.
Detsamma. You're not only selling a product, but you're also there to sort of make a dent and make an impact into something that needs to change. How do we get this out and how do we make this consumable? And I think that's the reason why we're filming and why we want to tell these stories.
What are we drinking here?
This is a coffee from Espírito Santo. I think it's a red catuai, pulp natural.
Smells really good.
So hope you like it.
Thank you so much. I'm really happy to be here. Now the adventure actually begins.
I can leave this bag if it doesn't.
I think it should be fine.
I'll leave mine.
Think we can close this?
This time the story is about coffee. This is not bad coffee. And how we can protect it from going extinct, which is kind of important. But the flies are driving me crazy.
Texting Lars to say we have to go now. 2:30 and I'm getting restless. So we need to get out and film stuff, and that's exactly what we're going to be doing. We're going to meet some more farmers and see what they have to say and hopefully try their coffee.
When I'm here, I really feel the urgency, and we see all the coffee fields and coffee plantations. You can drive for hours through the landscapes here, mile after mile after mile of coffee fields.
The sniffing shot. Right?
Yeah. It's important to get the sniffing right.
Fact of the hand is that not a lot of people know how coffee is produced. Getting to showcase that in video and with personal stories, I think that's a win, both for our companies, but also to sort of move this train that we're on, make this change and this transition happen.
Então, poder ter outras formas de conduzir, de fazer o manejo do café de uma forma mais sustentável é o que move meu coração.
In this van they have everything to sort, roast, grind and test coffee. So when you come around on the other side, it looks like this. He's the chief coffee cupping master.
Yeah, we have I think 12 samples to cup in today, and a lot of farm around all this area here.
Real stories from real life. Transport yourself to what's important. And that's what we're doing here. I've been searching for what story to tell because that wasn't exactly clear when I came here. But I landed on the theme that coffee might not be around in 25 years.
If we continue the path we're going, we millennials and Gen Z, we could be the last generations to drink coffee.
All the reports, the scientific reports right now say that coffee will go extinct basically, more or less, by 2050. And we don't want that to happen. We need it to be around in the future. So this is what I'm asking Lars, and I'm asking Felipe, and I'm asking the farmers. What can we do to make sure that coffee stays around and doesn't become a luxury product for the super rich and the rest of the world gets to drink coffee flavored beverages? Because that would be sad. That would be really sad. This location is so beautiful. We're learning stuff. I've been sorting coffee and I've been tasting a lot of coffee. In Swedish, in my language. Yes. Dålig bön.
Dålig bön.
Drinking coffee here, this fresh, at this quality, is a completely different game than drinking coffee back at home. And I want to upgrade my coffee habits back home. We'll see how that goes. So now I can feel the aromas of the coffee in the air. So Rafa has been roasting and now we get to taste it.
So we have like both Rafa preparing for the cupping and also some farmers discussing things. I don't know what they're talking about, but it's nice visual.
What setup are we using?
So for this particular scene, we're shooting with the Canon C70 and a beautiful Myke Cine Prime for this job.
So we've been filming this process. It's beautiful to see people come together and taste each other's coffee and taste their own coffee, because that's not something that usually happens.
O produtor, ele produz o café, porém não conhece o próprio café, porque ele não tem o hábito de degustar.
It smells so good from grinding the coffee and from roasting it and everything. And in this crazy beautiful environment, this is one of the times that you wish you could bring the smell of this through the camera. We have to invent this. I'm so happy to be here and that I get to experience this. I love doing this. It's the biggest privilege to be able to travel the world, make documentaries with companies who are doing awesome stuff for the world and for the environment. It's a lot of work. It takes a lot of energy to do these kind of trips and go up early in the mornings filming, but it's worth it because you can't buy these experiences. It has to be experienced. And I'm super happy, super grateful that I get to do this and drink all the good coffee.
Take a run in rural Brazil. This is amazing. From a filmmaking perspective, this journey has been a huge evolution, at least for me, I think, from our trip to Uganda that we did last year. Last year, like, as quickly as something popped up, like, you were filming, like, oh, wow, this is so cool. And then we have a headache when we're editing. But this time it feels like we have really like curated that, oh, we need these types of shots describing this. Already set our mind to why we're filming that shot before we press record. So it's not just a beautiful shot, but we know that it actually tells something as well.
I'm trying to get the light, some light on my face. We have to go this way. I think we're done filming for this trip. Feels a bit sad, but also I'm kind of exhausted. It's been amazing and we've seen so many incredible things. I
this point of a trip, it's always hard because you get the impression overload after a while and you learn so much. And that makes it hard to just summarize everything. But it's a very good feeling. So now we're sitting here, me and Lars, having cachaça in the most beautiful place with the most beautiful sunset. Anything to add, Lars?
No.
No? How are you feeling?
Drained.
You managed to get a cold.
Yeah, I managed to pick up a cold, but also like mentally and emotionally drained, I think.
Yeah.
It's been a roller coaster this week.
Yeah. But you feel like we captured some good stuff?
Yeah, I'm sure we did.
Yeah.
I mean, some of the more important things that we wanted to catch, we've definitely catched, which is like looking ahead, how do we drink and grow coffee in the future?
Yeah. And now we're gonna focus on how to drink cachaça. Cheers. Thank you so much for bringing us here.
Likewise. Thanks.
Obviously, I'm a coffee guy and I haven't worked in marketing, but the more I've sort of gotten to work together, I've developed a better skill set on actually framing and wording what we're doing. But then also understanding that I very often come to a point where I so easily take things for granted, being that I think people know this already. But obviously, like I say, very few people know how coffee is grown and produced, and nevertheless, the people behind it. So I think that this has helped me sort of back up and sort of look at it like how do we get this out?
Okay, Robin.
Regardless if you're in clothing business or whatever your product is, I think that there's a story to tell, and the more you engage with people and good storytellers in that sense, I think there's a win for you as a company and your product and the mission you're on. We know that we need to get better and better at it, and we try to, as much as we can, invest in it by telling these stories, get the story out. We've got the proof that we need to change this, and by doing this, you're taking part of that, and I think that connection is very important for a consumer.
The hardest part is convincing people to change their mind about coffee, and to get them to commit, we have to tell these stories, and that's what we're trying to do here.
Robin, are you awake?
Super awake. It's bright outside. We have daylight. 5:35.
Where are we going?
Going to Rio de Janeiro. On top of the Rio.
Cheers.
Cheers. We did this instead of going all the way to the top because the top is all covered in a big cloud. So this is much better. Now we go into the cloud. Nice. Got it.
So this is our last day here in Brazil.
Nice. Now we're ending it in style on Copacabana with this amazing view. That's that way. And I feel pretty ready to go back home, actually. But this has been really, really good. And I think we have really upped our game since the last trip we did to Uganda. And when it comes to the production, I think what I've seen from the material that we shot so far, it looks really good.
Yeah.
Which makes me happy.
And that was my main goal. So
yeah. This time we weren't as new to coffee as we were last time. In Uganda, we were like, boom, with a culture shock and this is how coffee is made. And now we already kind of knew that part, and like made us being able to focus more. I always wanted to go to Brazil, and now I've been to Brazil, and now I want to go back to Brazil. Because we've seen like 2.5% of what this country has to offer, so
Yeah.
we did a good job. Now it's just the editing left.
Yeah. There's a lot more to see, lots more to come. Stay tuned and you will see.
Thanks for watching.
Fick plats i alla fall, eller hur?
Ja.
Inte alls strikt.